Hi everybody, we're going to work through Tableau chapter 8. So what I want to do is here, this time I have two files, not just one file. I have Cookie Crunch, but I also want, I'm going to click on add here, also want to get the ERP file. So now I have two files. So this is the first time you've had that. It loaded into the, connect two files area. The first one I uploaded. So if you upload ERP first, it'll put that one here. So I'm going to open this up, and then I'm going to want to join another this ERP to it. All right, so that they have something in common. So they're asking me, like, what kind of join do you want to do? We haven't talked about joins, but we want a full outer join. And then the question is, what field do you want to join on? And we want to join on transaction ID. So here, the reason you have two files is because one file is in Julia's Cookies and the other is in Cookie Crunch, which is a company that Julia's acquired, right? So you're doing an audit to see if the two data sets match up. So let's scroll on down here. We have 10 questions, so let's get started here. What is the total amount of sales in the two different files, in the source system and Cookie Crunch and then ERP? Well, let's look at that. Okay, so amount paid in the ERP file. Let's just see the dollar amount. Okay, 11,526. Okay, lovely. Now, let's see if we get to clear that out. And let's do it for the source data. Okay, not the same amount, so not good. Since we know they don't match. So how many transactions in the source system and the ERP system were chosen for testing? So how many transactions are in there? Well, you would know that before you started, but we're playing with Tableau and developing skills, so that's fine. And then when comparing the source system and the ERP system data, how many transactions were in the one but not in the other? Okay, so we're looking for the mismatches, which will be listed as not applicable. When it did that join, it just didn't find anything that matches up. So how many unmatched transactions do we have? All right, let's have a look. All right, so we're going to make a duplicate of this guy and drag him down to measures. Okay. And so let's get the count. Okay, so there are 334 transactions in there. So let's find the ones that didn't match up. All right, so here, let's put this up here. Okay, and then where's our source data count? All right, and we're going to just drop that in there so we know how many. And well, heck, we can see right there, there's 48 null. Okay, and they want to know what states these missing transactions were from. All right, let's look that up. Okay, so we want the state. All right, so there's our states. All right, and we want the null. All right, so let's get the transaction ID in here, and let's filter for null. And it looks like California, Colorado, and Texas are the three states where there are null activity in those three states. And then we want to know the dollar amount of the transactions that we're missing. All right, so let's do that. All right, so let's get amount paid and transaction ID here. And then we want null. So 1,503. Okay, and then for 7 and 8, they want the largest order. in the Southwest, and they want the smallest order. Okay, let's do that. All right, so let's put the state in there and amount paid. Pop it in there. And then for amount paid, let's see here, we want the max. And it looks like $65.79 is our max. Okay, now we want minimum. So we'll go back. Now we want minimum. And we can go from the lowest. It looks like the minimum is $2.10. So now for the next two, we're going to do a calculated field. We've done that before, but I'll walk you through it. All right, so let's take the transaction ID. We want it from both sets. And I'm going to right-click this in this, and I'll call it difference. Doesn't really matter what you call it, something like that. And I want the amounts from the one and subtract the amount from the other. It tells me that's valid, so awesome. I'm going to drag it up here because if I do that, it will let me filter for everything but null and zero. I want when there's an actual difference to show up. Okay. And so how many times did that happen? I actually have to go down and count the rows in this bottom left of the Tableau screen. And now they're asking something very specific. They want to know when the transactions matched in Texas, how many differed in dollar amount. All right, let's look at that. So we can use the data that we had from number 9, except for now we're going to put the state. All right, let's put the state up here. Actually, we want it over here because we want to filter and just look at Texas. Okay, so we'll put it there and say Texas, and it looks like there's 4. All right, let me know if you have any questions.